on his ass.
And here comes perhaps his biggest fan. Decked out in old school Cena gear.
That's Ron Cena, baby.
And his opponent from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Title's on the ground on a second. Trick shot. That time under the jaw. Into the cover. Oh my God. What?
Here is your winner and the new TNA World Champion, Trick Williams.
History has been made. This moment will live on forever.
The game has changed.
You all right? Boss, hello.
Hey, champ.
Good to see you.
Hydrated?
My people.
Yeah, they're here.
Now, there once was a man from Nantucket.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, I'm just kidding. I'm just teasing you. Calm down.
It's pretty good.
Right.
Congratulations, you retained your championship tonight against Mina Shirakawa. But we now know, we just had her in here moments ago, you will be facing Mercedes Moné at All in Texas. This is huge. We've all been waiting to see this moment come together for you two women. How are you feeling on the other side of things to know that that's who's going to be across the ring from you in Texas?
Yes. Miss Money. Haven't met her yet. Questions? Anyone? Actually, I have some questions. Is it okay to smoke tobacco in here?
We are in Arizona, maybe.
Is it okay to smoke cannabis in here?
In Arizona, maybe.
So just harder drugs?
Well, yeah, nothing beyond
Name
that.
a
That's
drug.
as far as we're going to go in Arizona.
Name a drug. What can we do? Something, if I want to get really messed up, what am I taking?
Absinthe.
Meth! All right.
But you may be in the right place.
Luther, get me the meth. Luther, they said it was okay. Get me the meth.
Any questions for Miss Storm?
In 3, 2, 1, clap.
Benoit balls.
I still think Kevin Sullivan did it. I'm Aubrey Edwards. I'm not a wrestler. Tony's quick sniffs of the week.
No, just my dickhead friends causing concussions and shit. All right, never mind.
There's barbecue sauce. So good, half the face don't work.
With Hogan that close up on the fucking camera reminds me of my racist uncle. I know you ain't listening, but you know who you are, you fucking racist.
Uncle. Oh my God, for real, don't tell me that's his name. No way. I was kidding. I swear to God. I'm scared. It was just the first thing that came to my head. It was the first thing.
Welcome to the Top of Wrestling with your hosts ODM and the Professor.
Good Wrestling Day! Happy belated Memorial Day. Hint, hint, it's when we're recording. It's the Top of Wrestling Podcast. I am the Professor, Mark Fantasia. He is ODM, Joe Rizzo. And we're here like we are every Wednesday, bringing you news, results, bringing it to the table, reliving the Monday Night Wars. We got top topics. We got a lot of stuff. This week, our top topic is completely in ODM's hands, which scares the living shit out of me. And outside of that, we have 3, I'd say, semi-major shows that we'll be able to talk about from this past weekend. And we're going to dive right in. Ladies and gentlemen, do not send him AI baby videos. He will lose his fucking shit on the first one. ODM.
Oh yeah, they're terrible, and anybody who creates them and shares them should be shot and buried at sea.
Look,
yeah, pretty much.
I hold off. All right, I when I see something funny, I go, "Is this going to annoy ODM or is this going to make him laugh?" I don't like to send you things that would annoy you. But the version I sent you was Baby Tuco trying meth and telling Heisenberg, all that shit, he's in charge, and he beats the fuck out of his buddy. I thought that was pretty funny. It was tight.
The scene itself is fantastic. In the genre of AI babies, no. Pass. Hard pass.
You're not a baby lover?
No, I like to stay off that list.
I got a great screen name, Little Kid Lover, so that way she'll know exactly where my heart is at. One of the fucking best lines ever. All right, man. Let's get into some news, because I said we have some shows to go over from this past weekend, mostly on Sunday, but it's funny because I made fun of it. About Whiskey Man. I was like, and let me guess, he's going to predict that next year WrestleMania is going to be in New Orleans, because that's where it was going to be, right? Gonna be. And they just pulled the trigger and said, nah, we're going back to Vegas again. They're doing Las Vegas, but don't worry, Triple H did a nice little video package and said, hey, Nola, guess what you get? You get Money in the Bank next year.
And a future WrestleMania.
Oh, my God. I wonder why. I mean, is it...
Yeah, so it sounds like, and again, this is from a Dick Heed Dave, so take it for what it's worth. But it sounds like that they realize that they're just not going to make the money in New Orleans that they will in Vegas. So they're like, fuck it. We're going to just go ahead and make that money. That's what it is.
So this is kind of pretty unprecedented. Usually when they make the announcement at WrestleMania of where they're going next year, they stick to it.
Right.
And the only time it was different was when they said they were going to be at the Los Angeles Coliseum.
Well.
And they were going to fill that shit out, and then it was the...
Death
they
threats
can say it was slaughter death threats, but dude, they were not doing great business at the time.
Exactly.
They weren't filming it.
Yeah, they were pulling an AEW on that one. There's also rumors going around that they could be in Vegas for Mania, like, consistently. Like, those are rumors going around. I don't know how much truth there is to it, but it sounds like that just might be a permanent thing, or a semi-permanent thing.
Huh. Because Vegas probably made money off of it, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, fuck yeah.
Think about all those fans. I mean, there was a lot of wrestling events going on, but if you were only there for WrestleMania and you're a gambler, man, Nevada made out well with a bunch of wrestling dorks for a 2-day event.
Definitely.
I wonder if they'll do it at the Sphere.
That'd be kind of crazy. The entrances on the Sphere, that'd be crazy.
So, I was just thinking it'd be different. So let me ask you, man. Speaking of, the Sphere, I know Las Vegas has a lot of crazy stuff. One of my favorite things is when you can get on a roller coaster there. You ever rode a roller coaster in like a 3-piece suit?
Can't say I have.
Fucking Cody Rhodes. Good for him. But I gotta say, Brandy, you're a fine girl. What a good wife you must be.
Yeah, I'm not singing today. I just don't have it in me. No, you're the singer, believe it or not, so we'll let you run with it.
For today.
Yeah.
But no, man, it's just hysterical that photo is surfaced of Cody, Brandy, and probably Brandy's friend or just some chick in the background. I don't even know. And he is wearing a full fucking 3-piece suit on a roller coaster. And I was like, that's uncomfortable to me.
Yeah, it's that politician in him, man, I guess. He's just working the gimmick. It's either that or he's dressed like he's ready for the 1980s American skiing team.
What's funny to me is, like, I get it. You're finely dressed all the time. I dig it. But you still have the tattoo on the neck. I'm sorry. It still throws me off. It's like you could put a suit on a turd, but inside it's still a turd. I'm not saying Cody's a turd, but it's whatever.
The tattoo is.
Wow, it's just really funny. I've been around my godsons this past week, and I'm like, turd, it's shit. Okay, it's shit. I can get back to saying things. Fuck, shit, cunt, bitch. All right, we're back. I'm back.
We're not having a party.
Dude, did you see the photo that surfaced of Brock Lesnar and what apparently is Sable?
Mm-hmm. Sure did. Yeah.
The side-by-side photos of Sable. And one of the photos that I saw was a side-by-side of her, latest / last stint in WWE, which was like 2003, 2004.
Right.
When she did like a little love angle with Vince. I think Brock was already banging her, so he's like, let's bring her back in since this lawsuit's over. It doesn't fucking look like Sable in any way possible at all.
I think it does. I
couldn't even see it. Not even in the fucking eyes could I even see it with Sable.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I looked right at it, and I was like, yeah, that's Sable.
Looked like a fucking plastic fuck doll. There's not one thing that looks like it was Sable originally.
Maybe that's what Brock's into.
Well, that and who? But he's got the different look going. He's got the long hair coming down
it's crazy.
over the shoulders, which I think it's just basically like he just let the dread go, right? Usually he has that one long dread in the back, but... Lately,
that's what he's been seen with, yeah.
He can do whatever he wants, man. He's not getting back into Triple H's wrestling anytime soon, man.
No.
Triple H is going to try to wash the filth of everything that Vince had going, and unfortunately, Lesnar's name was a part of it. Yeah, exactly.
Literally.
And Lesnar's name was a part of it. You can't bring him back in without saying Vince, the lawsuit, the allegations. You can't bring him back.
It's too difficult. You see the most recent pictures of Brock's daughter breaking like the state shot put record?
Oh, I thought that was just Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's pretty much similar, though. It's you.
Ew. Oh, man, I wonder if we're going to get her in WWE in like 20 years.
No, pass. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the answer. They'll just dress her as Brock and just say it's Brock.
What is this, Ladybugs?
Exactly. There you go.
What kind of problems you got, man? Well, I talked my fiance's kid into wearing a dress and playing with me. We don't want your kind in here. Good movie. Underrated, I think. So this is funny to me. So All In Texas, July 12th for AEW is set. And it's been set for quite some time. And WWE's like, all right, I see that. I'm going to raise you a Saturday night's main event on the same night. The Women's Evolution pay-per-view, I think, is going to be the following night. And then earlier in the week is going to be the NXT Great American Bash. You could say you're not trying to fucking throw shots at AEW or try whatever. Come on, man.
Come on.
You legitimately were like, I'm going to take 3 shows and put them around this one.
Mm-hmm.
To the point that you're like, oh, God, I've watched so much WWE, I don't think I have enough time for All In.
Probably wouldn't anyway, but, you know.
Hey, we have to back off of Roman's chiclets.
Why do you say that?
You probably didn't read this report. His teeth started to fall out and decay with his leukemia and everything that went down in 2019. And when he came back in 2020 with a fresh set of teeth, we're like, look at those motherfucking chompers. Holy shit, Roman and his teeth won. Well, it's because apparently they were decaying back then. However, did you have to get the only freshest, biggest set of white that you could find? You know what I mean? Like, couldn't you be like, hey, I used to have a little bit spaces here, you know?
Right, they should be able to create that. They probably have molds of his teeth already, so dental records, you know, they could make it pretty close. But no, I mean, hey, you beat leukemia again. You figure you're going to splurge for yourself, I guess. So why not go with the nice chompers?
New teeth.
New teeth, baby. New teeth smell.
He just hasn't. The thing is, new teeth. It's like that new car smell.
Ew.
It's so fucking gross. I don't even know where I was going with that yet.
Yeah,
You just threw me the fuck off. So, one thing I will say is I watched a video of this, and one of the guys in California that one of the wrestlers I follow, he posted this, and I thought it was great. An indie promotion. I'm not really sure which one it was, to be honest with you. They got noise complaints because in the place that they were at, the music, the wrestling, the ring itself, the fans was too loud. And people complained nearby. It was just probably some fucking Bible bangers that were just being assholes or whatever the case is.
Sure.
So they had a silent library match. 4,000 people in attendance. you only snapped for things that were good, but then everybody kept shushing each other. All right, look at. Yes, you could say some things are a little too dumb when it comes to gimmicky shit on indie, but that actually made me laugh. I thought that was pretty hysterical.
As an FU to whoever made the complaint, sure. Exactly. As a whole, though, no.
It is on an AEW kind of style.
Well, I mean, considering they had a wrestler called the Librarian.
Oh, my God. I forgot about that. He doesn't work there anymore. Or maybe he does. He just doesn't get on TV like everybody else.
I don't think so.
Saturday night's main event. Were you live?
Yeah.
I was not. So why don't you break things down for me, because I had to kind of do the later skim through.
Yeah, I definitely had some notes on this. So we opened up with Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker defeating CM Punk and Sami Zayn. Punk and Zayn had matching color schemes on their trunks. I believe it was like for Syria.
Yep.
So that was cool. This was a solid match. It furthered the storyline. But the thing that we didn't see coming was the return of Braun Breaker. No, Braun Breaker was already there.
He was there.
It was Bronson Reed showed up. I think he like kind of like splashed CM Punk through that, part of the barricade that everybody gets speared through. Mm-hmm. And him and Breaker kind of had a weird face-off. But yeah, Bronson Reed is now part of the team. He has that history with Seth Rollins. I'm interested. One, I'm just glad that Bronson Reed is back. Two,
holy shit! I forgot about his history
the Seth Rollins
with Seth.
Stuff.
Oh wow, that just came out of left field. You're right.
Yeah, so that's interesting. They can play off of that. Braun seemed a little, taken aback, but then he kind of played it off. So this could go a lot of different ways, and I this really makes it a tough stable. I mean, this is a solid stable. You got Heyman, kind of being the puppet master. Rollins, his desire for the world title, and now he's got two of the fucking biggest killers in the division. You know what I mean?
I already got a name for the stable. Braun Bronson, Seth.
Braun Bronson. Yeah, there you go. There you go. So yeah, heels win because of the interference, which is expected. So yeah, let's see where it goes from here. Next, the dud night of the match, and I've got a lot to say about this. Not really, but I am going to go on a bit of a rant. So Zelina Vega defeated Chelsea Green to retain the women's U.S. title. This match was absolute dog shit. It gets a minus star for me. This doesn't crack 0.
It's clunky.
And I don't think it was Chelsea Green. I don't think Zelina Vega is a very good wrestler. I think they need to take the title off of her and send her down to NXT. I know she's over as hell. She can't wrestle for shit. They did a false spot with a 619 early in the match. She barely got to hit it right, and then at the end she tried. And I said it before this spot happened. Because I was watching the match, I'm like, they need to fucking make her lose before she fucking kills somebody. And she almost killed Chelsea when she actually went to hit the 619, but her feet never made it all the way to her face. So Zelina's like, well, I'll just kick her in the face. And fucking broke her nose.
So that's the part I saw, and I was like, oh, you missed it, and you're like, one more little kick.
Yeah.
Like, you did. Chelsea was completely unprotected at that point. She protected herself for the initial hit. You missed. You don't get to go throw another fucking free kick to the nose, man.
Right. Yeah, ain't no fucking penalty kick. But yeah, man, I mean, I know she's over, but this was awful, and I think it was all on Zelina. I've never thought she was that good of a wrestler. And listen, if that's the case, then that's the case. It's you know what I mean? It is what it is. If you send her down to NXT, but I was really hoping they would pivot and just give Chelsea the title, so it wasn't on Zelina anymore. So we'll see what happens with that.
I'm a Chelsea Green fan, so I actually don't want her to have the title back because I want her to be next in line. Man, I want her to. If she's not going to get in, now she won't with a broken nose, man. Fuck, I was going to say.
It sounds like she's not going to miss a lot of time. It sounded like it was a clean break. She'll be fine.
Get her in the Money in the Bank. Let her win. The crowd will lose their fucking shit if she ends up winning.
Absolutely.
And the world title.
Fuck yeah.
It's like the Dolph Ziggler treatment. We want it. Just do it, though.
Yeah, just do it. Yeah, Next, you get John Cena versus R-Truth. This was everything it needed to be, and it was great because Cena's music hits, and I go, please let it be R-Truth. Please let it be R-Truth coming out to his music. And then Cena comes out. I'm like, oh, all right.
And you're
let's
like,
see where
oh,
this
missed
goes.
opportunity.
Right. So then, Cena comes in and, he does his shtick and the music cuts off. So I'm waiting for the beat from R-Truth's music to hit. And then John Cena's music plays again.
Same fucking song. Comes out in all red. And the shirt had the tape looking over it. It said Ron Cena. Which you can buy, by the way. You can buy that shirt.
Oh, fuck yeah.
On WWE Shop. And I'm very fucking tempted to get it because it's like, that's history. And it's like 10, 15 years of them in all this shit. I'm like, it's so fucking hysterical. I loved it.
It was
doing
great.
The
He
moves,
comes in, he does
the
like
hat throw.
The fingers, the hat throw, everything. It was great. And then again, this was short, and it was exactly what it needed to be. Sure, Truth winning would have been great, but what does it really get you other than a pop? You know what I mean? They basically just did the shtick, and Cena he started the 5 moves of Doom, but like you said in the past, he's doing it slow.
Yeah.
He's drawing it out. He's not giving you the full impact.
Hustle.
And right, and I think that's where Cena went to hit the AA, the Attitude Adjustment, and a Truth counters it, and then he does the 5 moves of death, hits the Attitude Adjustment, gets to the 2 count, and then the best part is Cena gets the title like he's going to hit Truth, and Truth looks at him like, man, why would you do that? Why would you do that to me? And Cena does, and they do the stare down where they keep looking at the ref and the crowd, and they're like, and Cena apologizes. He's like, I'm sorry, and he hands the title to the ref, and then he just dick kicks Truth.
Awesome. It's funny because I saw something recently. Someone said they're like, he's a heel, but what has he done that's real heel? I'm like, he has won every match with a low blow. Have you not watched this shit? I'm like, that's the opposite of John Cena. I love this thing.
Yeah, no, it's great. And then there's a backstage segment with Jey Uso, and he sees Cena, and they have some words, and Cena kind of like gets in his head, and he's like, you could lose the world title to a YouTuber. He's like, good luck, champ, and he walks away. It was a good segment.
Too.
I like that. Yep. So then you get Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre in the cage match. This match is what it was. It was basically an injury angle to write Drew off of TV.
Yep.
He's dealing with some neck issues from their last match at Backlash. Yeah. So and it was pretty clear as day. I like that Drew, fought off. He didn't want the stretcher. The shitter about this match was Jesse Ventura. Jesse Ventura was on commentary, and I was trying to figure it out because he's got this black leather hat on with an X on it, and I'm like, okay, so he's either a big Malcolm X fan or he's a big Twitter fan. But the weird thing was he had a Jimi Hendrix shirt on, and I wouldn't expect somebody wearing a Hendrix shirt to be wearing a Twitter hat. But I would maybe expect him to wear a Malcolm X hat, but not Jesse Ventura.
Just an X. It was just an X.
I don't know. But the thing is Ventura was doing his heel gimmick, and he still got it a little bit. He was the problem was he was talking to Pat McAfee, and McAfee was just kind of like laughing and smirking at it instead of like giving it back to him. But the best part is Priest, the way he won the match was kind of flat. He put Drew down. He gave him a concerto, which was the injury angle. And he walks out the door, and he stops, and he looks back like he's going to go in for more, and then he doesn't, and he just walks out, hits the floor.
Yep.
He wins. Ventura started ripping it apart. He's like, why, back in my day, we'd actually climb over. What, you're just going to open the door? That's a crappy way to end a cage match. He just ran
Called him a
down
coward,
for like
though.
5
But
minutes.
that's the heel Ventura, man. If that was Hogan, he would have said the same thing.
He took it too far.
No, he didn't, man. He would have said the same thing. Hogan's a coward. Why not pin him in the ring? Why not do that, Monsoon? He's a coward walking out the door. That was old school Ventura. I was actually okay with that.
It was more than that, though, because, again, he was just running down the match. It wasn't just him running down Priest. He took it too far. He started just shitting on the match
Well,
itself.
that's what you do when you give a 70s and 80s star a fucking microphone in 2025, man. They're not going to talk, right?
There you go. Yes, there is absolutely that. So you get your main event. It's Jey Uso versus Logan Paul. Uso obviously retains, but they set it up for Cody, Uso, Cena, Paul. Yeah, so, Cena came in for the interference. Cody Rhodes made the save. Again, looking like he was on the ski team for the Olympics. And, you got to see the stars, I guess, and they set up the next match. So, hooray.
It's funny because the things that I've seen online after that, it was like, well, I guess we know what we're getting at Money in the Bank. And it was the video of Cody and Jey Uso drunk after that Money in the Bank win, or that one win, wherever fucking pay-per-view it was, and they're like, you feel me? Sir, do you feel him? I rewatched the whole thing. I thought it was hysterical, and I was like, all right, we'll get this again. That's kind of fun.
That's definitely very good. There was something else I was going to say, and I can't fucking remember. It had to do with this. I mean, so this was a Saturday night's main event.
Yeah.
This was a true Saturday night's main event.
It sets up your big pay-per-view, or your next pay-per-view.
Yeah, absolutely. It did everything it set out to do, nothing more, nothing less, So I thought it was a solid show.
Did you get to watch Battleground?
Fuck no.
Yeah.
Let me fill you in, kayfabe, pal. This Sunday, because it is Memorial Day, so I had Monday off. So Sunday, I started the day at 9:30 a.m. at Q's house, and he had the Smoker and the Blackstone going because it was the Grand Prix at Monaco was on at 9:30.
Yeah.
And they actually had, he has a second TV out there, and on that one he had the qualifiers for the 24-hour Nürburgring race, which was all GT3 cars, which is my favorite.
Nice.
Then after that was the Indy 500. After that was the Coca-Cola 600. And the Amex playoff game was on in between there, too. So the Smoker was going all day. We were just,
You guys just watch people do left-hand turns all fucking day long?
Well, Monaco and Nürburgring are not just left turns. And Indy cars are way cooler than NASCARs.
Did you watch the Wienermobile race?
I did. I saw the end of it, yeah.
I was like, bunch of dicks racing. That's awesome.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what it usually is anyway, right?
Yeah, give or take. Yeah, look at what happened to that one dick when he flipped someone off that one time. Anyway, NXT Battleground. That was Dale Earnhardt.
Gotcha.
Your girl, Sol Ruka, defeated Kelani Jordan, retained her North American Championship. Hank Walker, Tank Ledger, which is the Hank and Tank, your tag champions, and Josh Briggs, they defeated the Culling. Kind of more of like a grudge match between two former stablemates, Channing, Stax, Lorenzo. I always want to say Tatum every time. Defeated Tony D'Angelo, his former. I think Tony is the boss of the group.
The boss.
Stephanie Vacour defeated Jordan Grace, which we got wrong. We said Jordan's going to win, Vacour is going to go up, but she retained.
Yeah.
Obafemi defeated Deathborn. I'm sorry, I meant Miles.
Why would they do it to me?
I watched another one of him, and it's just another video. I go, stop it! You guys are hurting this. I can't. I only mean for the part of that I do a podcast, and I have a fucking live mic every Wednesday, and I can't not mock it. It's great. I'm gonna go deaf now. Fuck.
The professor's views do not reflect that of the Top of Wrestling podcast or what? ODM.
Oh. Okay, I'm sorry. Last week, I go, so this is a softball. I go, what do you mean? You fucking started it off the bat, so that's on you, actually. You fucking opened it up. You can't put Pandora back in the box.
Sure I can.
But one thing I did like, Mike Santana appeared backstage at NXT Battleground. And he also, for Puerto Rican Fest fight, or whatever it is for House of Glory, he's defending the World Championship against Tomohiro Ishii. Santana is having absolutely the best year of his entire career right now. He is killing it on the indies. Look at Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona, killing it.
Yeah.
Great CVV interview with him. Loved it. But Mike Santana is crushing it out there. I'm going to say within a year, if I haven't said this already, I think I may have before, within a year, I think he's going to be under WWE ownership, whether NXT, whatever, he'll be there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Like I said, it's obviously hard now. We're just reading a lot of this stuff. I'm guessing, if you really search, you can find the videos. But, again, that one promo in AEW, that's all.
Oh, my God, my favorite hit. We talked about it. Last week, I said, man, it'd be cool if they put the title on Trick Williams because If not, why, like, every time they have these title matches between TNA and NXT, we're just going to get the same shit and no one's, what's the point, right? I had that actual fucking statement. And then Trick Williams defeats Joe Hendry for the TNA World Championship. An NXT guy is holding a TNA title. This just opens up so many possibilities to the games that they are playing between both companies, that they're like, yeah, man, like, we'll work with you. Yeah, we'll have this, which tells me we may actually get that possible Cena-Joe Hendry match. Or just more down the line, maybe a TNA guy wins the NXT championship. Right? I mean, we saw Moose versus Obafemi, and I was like, they're not going to put the title on Moose, but now I'm like, well, shit, what if they do? What if the Hardys win the NXT tag team titles? A lot of possibilities. I'm digging it. It's funny that I didn't watch a lick of Battleground. I watched Saturday night's main event, and I had a choice between Battleground or Double or Nothing. And I said, I am going to do the duty of this for this show. The duty is the right word too, by the way. Duty. I have a lot to talk about when it comes to this pay-per-view. So, okay. They had pre-show matches. I don't give a fuck. Not even bothering bringing it up. The first match, they opened the night as most solidly as they can. Mercedes Moné versus Jamie Hayter. That kicked off Double or Nothing. And it's for the Owen Hart Cup final. And Mercedes Money. That's what I'm going to start calling her now. Money, because that's what Tony Storm calls her.
That's what Tony Storm called her, yeah.
Money defeated Jamie Hayter because obviously we called that one. We both said, yeah, she's going over. Yeah. She's going to go for the title against Tony Storm at All In. We both called that one.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was FTR versus Nigel McGuinness and Daniel Garcia, with Daddy Magic in McGuinness and Garcia's corner, while Stokely Hathaway was with FTR. By the time this match ended, and FTR won, by the way, by the time this match ended, we were 57 minutes into the pay-per-view. 2 matches.
Jesus Christ.
57 minutes in.
That's too long.
Thank you.
That is way, way too long. And the only thing I saw from this match was FTR botching it. Well, okay, I don't think you could necessarily... there was the one where FTR were supposed to run into each other, but one of the competitors was in the way, and he had to shove him out of the way so they could do the bump.
They could hit each other. Yep.
Yeah, so dumb. Terrible. We're the best wrestle.
I didn't understand how they made this an ending match. The end of this match killed me. Okay. It's a stretcher match between Ricochet and Mark Briscoe. I hate that I have to mansplain something here, but I apparently need to. You have a stretcher match, and you have an ambulance match. A stretcher match is where you put someone on a stretcher, and you roll them all the way to a specific part or line or whatever the fucking case is.
Top of the ramp, through the entranceway, yeah.
An ambulance match is where you put someone in the back of an ambulance and close the fucking doors.
Mm-hmm.
They had an ambulance match, but called it a stretcher match, is the best way I could fucking describe it. It ended with Ricochet throwing Mark Briscoe in the back of the ambulance. The doors close, and then the bell rings. And they go, oh, the doors are closed. He won. I go, what the fuck just happened here?
Some WCW shit right there, man.
Bloody as fuck, by the way. Briscoe was really bloody. They're trying to get as much heat on Ricochet as they can. And I will give you this. At the end of the year, he's likely going to be top heel of the year just because no one fucking likes him.
Yeah, but it's the wrong kind of heat.
Exactly. The Hurt Syndicate retained their titles against Guevara and Dustin, which is the sons of Texas. And the ending of it, for me, was just, I loved it. Lashley was on the outside, and Benjamin got to finish the match out. He gave a real hard running knee to Guevara in the corner, a hard super kick, pinned him. And I go, wow, that's the best thing that has happened to Shelton Benjamin in like 10 years. Like,
shit, right?
Just getting to pin someone on a pay-per-view that way. He ended the match. 5 years ago, I would have loved this match on paper. It was Kazuchika Okada defeating Speedball Mike Bailey for the Continental Championship. Like, at highlight of this match, the best part was Speedball was on the top rope and went to do kind of like a reverse moonsault.
Shooting star press almost.
Yeah.
Like
And Okada caught him with his drop kick, which like you can't fuck with Okada's drop kicks. I've always loved it. I thought he's always had one of the best ones. Him, Randy Orton, certain guys can just they have the best looking drop kick. His is one of them. Rick Martel always had a good one. But that was the best part of this match was that it was for that one moment. Yeah, that's it. Toni Storm defeated Mina Shirakawa for her championship. Retained. And then afterwards, they kissed in the middle of the ring.
Naturally.
To which Taz says, well, I mean, we are in Phoenix. And Tony Schiavone goes, what does that have to do with anything? And I'm glad he called it out. I'm like, what does that mean anything? I'm like, San Francisco, I will give you it if you want to, like certain things. I'm like, what the fuck did Phoenix have to do with anything?
Yeah, very big bi/lesbian community over there, I guess.
I hate Taz on commentary. He kills me.
Yeah.
All right. You may not see me for the next minute or two, ODM, because I have to open my phone to get to my notes, because this is Anarchy in the Arena.
Oh, boy.
So it begins with Justin Roberts pointing to some little kid down at the front. And he goes, cover your ears. And he goes, remember how he used to do the shit's about to get real or whatever it was? This is Justin Roberts, and I'm not fucking lying. This is to a T. Oh, shit! It's time for Anarchy in the Arena! And I go, oh, shit? I go, that was a TK idea. That had to be a TK idea. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Okay, so you know how when Moxley was faced... By the way, when I was skimming through and watching this, I told my wife, I go, this is one of the shittiest matches I've watched in a long time. I said, in this exact match... 3 years ago sparked the biggest ongoing gif between ODM and I, which is cocaine's a hell of a drug from Rick James. It lived up to itself, dude. We would have passed this thing back and forth every 2 minutes. And it was Kenny Omega, Swerve Strickland, and the Ops, which is Samoa Joe, Katsuyori Shibata, and Powerhouse Hobbs, and Willow Bertha Faye, against, you know what, fuck that. I'm going to call her Willow Nightingale today, and I'm going to tell you why. She fucking held her own in this match, and I actually appreciated some of the shit she did. They defeated the Death Riders, which was Claudio, Moxley, Marina Shafir, and Wheeler Yuta, and the Young Bucks, who are calling themselves the Founding Fathers of AEW, and they came out wearing, like, I don't even, like, kind of like, I don't know, like a robe or gown that, like, George Washington and all those guys wore back in the day, we'll say, right? I'm not going to fucking describe it, because apparently my description of a box last week apparently wasn't enough for you. You had to actually text me off to the side.
You put them in that box-like structure,
that you get from the clothing store. You eat a box? And I told you, go eat a box.
I did.
So, good for you. But they are the Founding Fathers, and at first Samoa Joe doesn't show up. Well, he was out in the crowd waiting for Claudio to come down through the crowd like they normally do, kind of ambushed him.
Right.
But do you remember the very first one that we watched? Wild Thing just kept playing like 7 times in a row. And we're like, what the fuck? And it was their attempt at like an ECW kind of thing, when like New Jack and them would do their shit. But those matches didn't go 45 minutes back then. So this one began where all of a sudden, and I am not kidding you, the music began while they're beginning to fight. And fucking Omega's like, get the music going, come on. He actually like points to the production truck or the camera and goes, come on, let's get it going. And you hear the drum beat, and I knew it automatically. Fucking Pointer Sisters. I'm so excited.
Oh, God.
I just can't hide it. And I go, are you shitting me right now? And then that song plays for about a good minute or two, and then Omega goes, all right, enough of that. And I go, thank God. And he goes, how about we get some early 2000s alternative going in here? Come on, play that shit. Slams the mic down, and the crowd starts chanting, but you can't really tell what it was because it was a whisper. It was, let the bodies hit the floor, let the body. Which, WWE did it multiple times. They did it for ECW for opening theme. They did it for a SummerSlam in 2001. Anyway, Drowning Pool's Let the Bodies Hit the Floor played 7 fucking times until someone was thrown through a fake-ass speaker on the side of the entrance, and then the music just cut out finally.
Jesus.
Remember, we used to like to use the words good and terrible. Just bad and terrible.
Yeah.
They called it anarchy in the arena. I call it no selling in the arena. Nobody was selling.
That sounds about right.
Everybody was getting hit with shit and then just coming right back. Someone got hit with a fucking chair in the head and actually just ran right back at the person. Moxley was speared through a table by Powerhouse Hobbs. Hobbs sold it as in he gave all of his effort and had his eyes closed. Yeah. Moxley's eyes were wide open and started talking to Hobbs as he was sitting there. I go, Jesus Christ. Moxley never can sell, but it was horrible. Marina Shafir, she's horrible because camera's right on her and she goes, Willow, I'm going to flip you again. Gives her a flip.
So like John Cena style?
Worse, actually. The coolest part, and I will give her this, is that Willow has the Jeff Hardy big gauge earlobe set up. Yep. And Marina put a chain around the ring post and then locked it to Willow's ear. And I go, okay, all right, that's okay. And she was kind of fighting for it. When she ended up getting loose, you know how Powerhouse Hobbs has that shirt? It's like big, black, and meaty. I don't know, something like that, whatever it is. It's something like that. I don't know. It's not like, I was like Black and Proud. No, it's like big, black, meaty, whatever it is. She was wearing the same shirt. She came in and double speared the fucking Young Bucks, started taking out guys, and then she ripped her shirt off right in front of Powerhouse and was wearing the same shirt as him. Crowd actually ate it up, and I go, all right, I'm going to give her Nightingale on this one. She's not a Bertha fan this week.
Fair enough.
She held her own. She sold better than everybody else in the match. She had great spots. I thought it was great. Then there was a part where Omega was giving his Snapdragon suplex to everybody, and then Marina came in with, she kicked him, and he held her foot in the air. She goes, do it, do it, do it, spits in his face, and gave her one of the best fucking Snapdragon suplexes I've seen out of him doing to anybody. Like, it was a wicked one. They made Hobbs look strong. That is the one thing I will give you out of this entire match, is Hobbs looked really strong, to the point that I was like, you're missing the opportunity on him. It doesn't matter what he does in this. You guys are not going to turn anything out of this.
Yeah.
Nicholas Jackson jumped off the top of one of the entranceway top things, like a structure, on top of a table that was holding Powerhouse Hobbs. And when Jackson went down, he didn't go far enough forward, so that when he hit on top of Hobbs, he bounced backwards and slammed his head right on the fucking entrance ramp. On the entrance ramp. And I go, good for you. Good for concussing yourself. Immediately, the ref and Matt are right over looking on him and talking and shit. He did a couple other moves later in the night, and actually later in the match, but there's no way he wasn't a little concussed from that, because both Matt and the ref went running to him quick. I'm like, not the guy that took the move, the guy that gave the move is who we're checking.
Yeah, right.
Where the best wrestle.
Mm-hmm. Nailed it.
Swerve was taken out at one point, and then all of a sudden he comes riding back in on the top of a forklift, kind of like the one that it has the pallet, just like when Mick Foley beat Rock, right? He's on top of it. There's a driver. And on top of the other back is Prince Nana just doing his dance the whole time, all the way through. And I go, Jesus Christ, this is just a shit fest. Funny, but shit fest. Then, of course, if we have Swerve Strickland in a match, and it's a hardcore match, what weapon is coming out?
Syringe.
Ha! That's actually really close. The staple gun. And it was how he used it on certain guys was pretty great. He hit fuck. Claudio went to do his move to him where he lifts him up in the air to give him the elbow.
Yeah.
And when Swerve was coming back down, bam, clicked it right on his head. Hit everybody in certain times, got Matt Jackson right in the dick. But then one of them, I think it was Matt, took the no, it was actually, Jesus Christ, Marina Shafir took the fucking staple gun, pulled Swerve's tongue out of his goddamn mouth, and stapled on it, right? And now you're like, it's got to be an empty fucking chamber.
There's probably one in there, I'm sure.
It was one in there because at the end of the match, Swerve put his tongue right up into the fucking camera, and it was still sitting in there. I will say one of the funnier parts is I think it was who did it to him. I can't remember who, but Powerhouse Hobbs. Someone stapled him right in the back, and he stood up laughing. He goes, "A fucking stapler?" And they did it right in his head, and he laughed and then beat the fuck out of him. And I go, again, they made Hobbs look so strong, and I was like, God damn it, you're not going to go anywhere with it. It's a shame because this was probably Hobbs' best showing since Darby, Sting, him, and whoever, that match, all the way fucking back when, in 2021. Right. It's the best thing I've seen out of Powerhouse Hobbs. So we really did staple guns to throats, no lie, dicks, and tongues. Then Hook came in and hit Claudio Castagnoli with a golf club in the stomach. As you may recall, Claudio made him puke multiple times when he was concussed in the ring, right? And then Samoa Joe goes, "Come on, man, come on in the ring," because he's a part of the ops. And then Hook just turns around and leaves. That was it.
Okay. 4.
So the point is that you took out the Death Riders, the enemy, and you're not going to join in with them. Then why'd you come out at all?
Good question.
Cocaine.
I'm sure there won't be an answer, ever.
Then Gabe Kidd showed up. He was supposed to be in the match, I thought, but they put Wheeler Yuta in it, and they just had Gabe show up to hit everybody with the briefcase. They're probably saving Gabe, I'm assuming, for New Japan is. You know what I mean? They're like, yeah, I don't need you wrestling in this fucking dog shit anarchy match. But he showed up, but then the Faces ended up getting the win by putting everybody... Oh, my God, Jesus Christ. All of a sudden, the ambulance is there again. And the doors are open. Mark Briscoe appears out of nowhere, still dried, bloodied from earlier, and jumps on guys. And they put most of the Death Riders in the back of the ambulance and close the door, while Swerve and Kenny finish the match against, I believe it was Moxley and maybe Yuta. It doesn't matter. Horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. Yeah, the face.
Yeah, just listening to you describe it makes me want to jump off a bridge.
Yeah. And then I did not see this coming. I'm not going to lie. I did not think they were going to pull the trigger on this, but they gave Hangman Page the win. Well, the Owen Hart Championship, actually, that belt, defeating Will Ospreay. Hear my words. We are going to put this down in the goddamn predictions within a week.
Ba-da-da, ba-da-da.
6-star match by Meltzer. I guarantee he gives 6 stars. It was a nearly 45-minute match for Ospreay. Yeah. Exactly. It's Page Ospreay. He is going to give it 6 stars. You fucking mark my words. 5.5 at minimum.
Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, I wouldn't put it past him. It's an Ospreay match, so...
That and 74 false finishes, bad. I will say one part that I did like, it had a cool little build-up. Hangman was ready to do his...
Buckshot.
He was on the outside, and then Ospreay stared at him, was ready on the opposite side of the ring, and Ospreay took his elbow pad off to do the running elbow. And then Page took off his elbow pad as well so he could do buckshot. The build-up was cool, and they went running at each other at the same time, and you're like, you would think Ospreay was going to get the elbow first. He actually got him. Fucking Page hit him with that buckshot. And you would have thought that would have been the best way to end the match on how that build-up was right there. Nope, they went another 10 minutes with more false finishes.
Why not?
Why not? The only good thing that came out of the media scrum was Toni Storm. Her immediate opening, she goes, "There once was a man from Nantucket." And they go, "Jesus, not again," which I thought was great.
It was.
But then she goes, she started asking about what kind of drugs are around here that I can do tonight. Yeah. And
Tony goes absinthe.
I know, and I wanted him to be, if he had said cocaine, it would have been the funniest fucking thing of the year.
We would have had a 3-minute loop of it.
Oh my God. But and she goes, "Meth? Well, where's the meth?" Then she gets up and starts singing a song and starts slapping the shit out of Luther's head as a drum.
Yeah.
Timeless and classic. She's awesome, man. It's a shame where she's working, but at least she's giving me something to watch in AEW.
Yeah, timeless Toni Storm and the Hurt Syndicate are really the only good things in AEW right now.
Oh, fuck the Hurt Syndicate. Fuck that shit.
You only say that because they never really got to their full potential in WWE, and now they're just kind of recycling the gimmick here. But
yeah, okay, yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. And then they added the Owen Hart of the group, MJF.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Oh,
yeah.
Wait, no Martha this year. No hat, no cool fucking rodeo-looking thing, anything like that.
Sucks.
No Martha this year. Goddamn shame.
Maybe Tony didn't have enough cocaine left.
Last week we talked about Zoe Stark, that nasty-ass bump that she took, or fall. She tore her ACL. You said here retiring. Is she actually going to be retiring?
So right before we recorded, I was on YouTube. I was just, checking some shit out, before you hopped on the call. And I saw a reel from Zoe Stark, and she, in the video, says she's retired. She said apparently her ACL is made out of glass because she's torn her ACL before in NXT. And she's like, yeah, so I'm going to retire. And then she made a reference like she wanted to start calling out people in WWE. And the only one that was in the reel, so I'm assuming it's a longer video. I just didn't see the whole thing. And she goes, I got nothing against Kairi Sane, but she wasn't where she was supposed to be, and that's why I got hurt. So Kairi Sane, if I see you out on the street, I'm going to turn you from Kairi Sane to Kairi Payne. And that's where the video ended.
Sick burn.
So I know it was pretty terrible, but yeah, she just matter-of-factly, she's like, I'm gonna have to retire. So I don't know if it's true or not, or if she's just working. I don't know, but
well, in another injury news, we already talked about it from Saturday Night Main Event. Chelsea agreed she broke her nose.
makes you look distinguished, like a young Michael Jackson.
I think Zelina Vega did it on purpose.
Hey.
I'm sorry. I got to say sorry. All right, anyway. Contract news. Only thing that made rounds last week was that Ace Austin, which is a pretty big part of TNA, he left. My money says AEW. Unless NXT is going to pick him up, but I mean, then why'd you leave it at
That's
TNA?
kind of just weird. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. I mean, it still is two separate things, so I mean, it could be that, but yeah, you're probably right. It's probably AEW, because he knows he can make a ton of money and not have to do dick all.
Well, and speaking of AEW, it's time for TK's quick sniff of the week. Fyter Fest on Dynamite is going to be a 4-hour special event on a Wednesday night, and it begins at 8 fucking p.m. Eastern.
Pass.
On a Wednesday night, you're doing Fyter Fest, and you're going to have it end at midnight? Are you trying to have no ratings? I want to know what the ratings are from 11 to 12. That I need to know. That's a must. I don't give a fuck about 8 to 11. No one's watching all the way till 12.
I want it to fall below 100,000.
Oh,
that would be fantastic.
I guarantee it will. Even if you're not up against NBA Finals, this, that, whatever it is, man, there's no way you're going to be able to do that. That's horrible.
Can't wait. I can't wait for it to happen just so we can look at the ratings.
And speaking, by the way, of the NBA Finals, did you see how the fourth quarter ended with the Knicks and the Pacers?
Which one? Game 1 or 2?
Game 1 with the bouncing off
Yeah,
the rim
I
and
saw.
falling in. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And it's funny because the first video I saw about it, because I didn't get a chance to see the game, was a Knicks fan losing their shit inside of a bar. Like, yeah, motherfucker. What? Wait, what happened?
Uh-huh.
Bad. Anyway, so I'm glad you put this on here. Scorpio Sky had some shit to say about AEW, and one of the big things that he had to say is that there's a veteran basically that's there that is the reason he's not working. Let's just say that. And I gotta say it's probably Jericho or the Bucks, right? Who else is really gonna say I don't want Scorpio Sky around?
Yeah. I would think so. It's probably Jericho, if I had to say. I got some quotes from Scorpio Sky, and I got one from Tony in reply, if you're ready for that.
Go for it.
So Scorpio made these comments on his Creating Character podcast when asked if comments he made during an interview with Van Vliet in 2024 could have harmed his standing in the company. And Sky said, quote, "To be honest with you, I didn't lie when I was on the show, but I definitely went out of my way not to make the company look bad. I really obviously wanted to preserve a relationship that's been built over a number of years, and I didn't want to say anything that would poison that relationship. Come to find out, someone there still maybe has a few issues with some of the things I may have said. Now I'm like, screw it, I'm going to say whatever the hell I want now." And he went on, "It's something that's been on my mind. I don't think about it too much, but sometimes I do wonder, what's the perspective? Do people think I'm not profiled because I suck? I don't have it anymore. I'm hurt. Do they think there is bad blood? The reality is I don't know what it is. I don't know if there's bad blood or not. I know I'm healthy, and I've been healthy for a long time, and I've been wanting to compete. It's just one of those things where what can you do? You only have so much to say. You only have this much say. You can do what you can do." So Tony TK gets asked about it. His response is, "I like Scorpio Sky. It's interesting. Scorpio Sky's name came up recently, and he mentioned he was looking to come back, and I have had talks with Scorpio Sky about different ideas and things we could do in greater detail. He's someone who has been here from day one, and I have a lot of respect for him, and he's someone I really like. I saw that he said that, and I had talked to Scorpio Sky about doing something, and we ended up going with something in a different direction. It's kind of a long story, but it would make a lot of sense in context. Maybe not now, at this time, but I do like Scorpio Sky, and he's part of the roster. I had an idea for Scorpio Sky, and I think it was a good idea. We talked about it, and it didn't work out for reasons between us, but it's a legit thing, and I'm fine with it. I'd like to use him for a different idea when the time is right." Jesus
Was that from the
Christ.
media scrum?
No, I think he was just asked about it separately. Yeah, I don't think it was from the scrum. But I was trying to read it.
How
and
big a bump did he do before that? I mean, he just
Yeah.
repeated himself 7 times.
That was some Donald Trump level shit right there,
Oh
where he just
my
kind of meandered off and didn't say anything.
Holy shit. Yo, he's going to be the next Ricky Saints, man. He's going to be the next one to jump over to
hope
WWE,
it's
and
Hobbs.
you're going to... What did you say, Hobbs?
Yeah, I hope so. I don't know that's going to happen.
Well, he's being used on TV. That's the problem. Saints wasn't. And you're wasting Scorpio Sky's best years in his athletic ability. It's wasting him
much.
until he gets over there and he can't do shit at the time.
We thought he was a blue chipper when they started AEW. We thought he was going to be one of the major guys.
Still shocked he's not. And
just
even when they put him with Dan Lambert, right?
Yeah.
He was still over as fuck then as a heel. He was a champion. I don't know. Yeah, I guess there's going to be women's tag team titles possibly on the way for AEW as well, which is awesome.
Why?
Now, Jeff Jarrett actually had some shit to say about basically AEW, but really when it comes down to it, it's the inmates running the asylum. Everybody's allowed to have creative control, including one MJF. And Jeff Jarrett didn't hold back. Look, he's not even on TV. Remember how he was like, this year I'm going for the world title in my final year of wrestling? He had 1 month of a stint with MJF, and I haven't seen anything of him on TV.
Yeah, there was the whole promo. It was like a 9-minute vignette about Jeff Jarrett, and it was fucking great.
Well,
nothing.
He said everything MJF touches turns to shit, and anybody who works with MJF does not come out the better on the other end.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of Punk, right? I mean, Punk went and got the championship after, but nobody is the better after working with him. The Hurt Syndicate is going to be a fucking dog shit group after he's done with this whole thing, because he's going to turn on him just like he does everything else.
Yeah.
Adam Cole sucked. Samoa Joe after that sucked. I mean, everything MJF has done has been bad because he's a mark for himself, is what we're finding out. Jeff Jarrett said, don't go that low. Don't say this certain thing out there. And MJF went and did it.
Right.
Jarrett didn't hold back. And he's under the company wing, much like Scorpio Sky. Fuck it. What else are you going to do? Are you going to fire me? Fucking fire me, please. Please.
Yeah.
Get me out of this contract. I'll go on unemployment.
No shit, right?
And then, this isn't necessarily a TK quick sniff of the week, but it kind of falls right in line because he probably does it with him. Dickie Dave believes that the promo between Will Ospreay and Hangnail Page on Dynamite, the heated promo, was better than any one of the Cena and Cody promos leading up to WrestleMania. Mike, you would believe that.
Yeah, he would believe that. Now, I haven't seen the Hangman Ospreay promo, so I don't know. So I can't legitimately, compare them. I'm guessing it's pretty safe to say that it's bullshit.
Hang on. Let me reenact it. Bruv, I'm going for the title, bruv. I'm going to win the cup, bruv. Right? And then, I am all elite, and you can't take this from me because I have a mustache. That's it. It was basically that, where they both just said, they sounded passionate, and, it's exactly, every fucking Hangman promo I've ever heard is the fucking same for me. And I can't understand half the shit Will Ospreay even fucking says. Fuck it. Let's go to the table.
Just bring it, bitch! Oh my God!
There's two types of people in this world. Regular people, and then assholes that use this one very specific emoji. And every time I ask you something, and I'm like, hey, you good to go at this time? And you give me the fucking thumbs up.
Okay.
I feel like Joe Pesci when he's playing blackjack in the casino. Take this and shove it up your fucking wife's ass, and then throws it at the guy. Take that fucking emoji, that thumb, and shove it straight up your fucking ass. I hate people who do the thumbs up emoji. Say okay, say K. I'm fine with that. The thumbs up emoji, fuck you.
Wow.
All right, that's it.
It's like AI babies.
You're right. I'd rather look at AI babies recreating Breaking Bad than getting a fucking thumbs up emoji from anybody ever again.
Well, I'm going to have to get creative with it now. That sounds like a challenge.
I'd rather you just give me a fucking middle finger emoji. Fine with that.
I could do that, but no, I'm going to have to really work at this. I'm going to have to get creative with it.
All of a sudden you're acting classy. Okay.
Classy to trashy.
That's what we do.
I heard this from Mrs. Wheezy the other night, and I thought it was fucking hilarious. We were just talking about jokes, and I don't even think she was just trying to tell a joke, but she brought it up out of nowhere, and it was fucking hilarious. She goes, "Hey, lesbians, why do you call it scissoring and not lip syncing?" But here's the best part, because, we talked about quote-unquote predictions a lot lately. She did the right thing, and I think it was in reference to that a little bit, because she made it very clear, not my joke, I heard it somewhere else.
Oh.
Because that's what you do.
That's what you do.
When it's not your original content.
Which is what I do on the show. I'm like, I'm not going to take credit for this. I saw this meme, but especially if it's a good joke, I don't want to take credit for other people's
Cornette
shit
all the time. Yeah.
It's
absolutely.
It's how you do it, but some of us read ESPN articles.
Yeah. Da-da-da.
Well, it's time for a pay-per-view-less Monday Night Wars. Monday Night Wars!
Joe C. No, man. I'll take it easy. We just got clued in a few minutes ago to make up for it. We want to honor you with one of our world-renowned 5-second poses. What do you think?
Yeah, look, now we know you're playing tonight with Kid Rock, your song, American Badass, and we're really looking forward to it, But to be politically correct with our pose, we need to know. Are you like a midget or something?
No. Huh? Oh, you're a dwarf.
The dwarf? No, he's a gnome. No, that's what he is.
You're an Ewok.
Yes.
Man, you know what? You guys, I'm very honored, but, you go out and you have your match. After that, you guys can go yourself.
What? Why do you want to cost us the belts? You know how hard it is? Do you realize?
Wait a minute.
Come on.
cheap shots, huh?
No, we got. Come on.
That feel. You like cheap shots?
I'm going to go help little Joe.
It is the May 29th edition of both Raw and Nitro in the year of 2000. And I believe these are their Memorial Day episodes as well, correct?
I would believe so, yes.
Yes. So, run it on down. What happened?
All right.
I'd be happy to know.
Well, I'll tell you, and it's going to be a fun one just because of Nitro alone. But we'll start with Raw. It's in Vancouver, British Columbia. Taker comes to the ring. The Chiron still says
Perfect place
Undertaker.
to celebrate Memorial Day. Okay, move on.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. They knew the Canucks didn't give a fuck about Memorial Day, so they're like, yeah, we'll probably get a bigger gate there. The Chiron still says Undertaker, but JR refers to him as the American Badass. As soon as he puts the mic to his mouth, Triple H's music hits and the entire regime or faction come out. Triple H welcomes Taker home, says, thanks for helping me win the title back. And Taker says, you need to thank me for not kicking your ass. I don't do anything for anyone except myself. Calls the regime assholes. Lawler says, Taker's mouth is dirtier than a wicker toilet seat. Ew.
Who sits on a wicker toilet seat?
I don't know. Probably your neighbor with the 7 flags. Taker says that title belongs to him. The regime surrounds the ring. Rock's music hits. Comes to the top of the ramp. Sign, I spotted. It's in the notes. I screwed a fat chick for this seat. Wasn't even a good seat.
That may be my favorite sign so far.
I figured you'd pop for that one.
Screwed a fat chick for the seat.
Vince is on the mic before Rock, says, this must be the buddy system. Rock has a good line. He says, it's going to be a great day when I can make change out of that $2 slut Stephanie. And Vince says tonight it's going to be Taker versus The Rock. Next, you get Godfather Malenko and the Cat versus D'Lo, Saturn, and Terry in a 6-person mixed tag match because Attitude Era, and Saturn gets the win. Edge and Christian are backstage with Kevin Kelly. Edge and Christian give him a Polaroid camera. And then Joe C walks by. Joe C, you probably remember. I know you do because you're a big Mark. Was the hype man for Kid Rock.
Just because you watch or you appreciate someone doesn't mean that you're a mark for him.
Yeah, you're a mark. Edge and Christian want a picture with him and say they loved him in Austin Powers' Mini-Me. Topical. Come back from break. Edge and Christian are looking at the pic, and Angle walks by, and they show him, and Angle's like, I got more important things on my mind, like the European title. So that's what we get next. It's Eddie versus Kurt Angle for the European title. Ref bump, China low blows Angle, Eddie retains. Edge and Christian run into Joe C again, and they realize it's actually Joe C now. And, you know, in order to apologize, we want to offer you a 5-second pose. Mm-hmm. But to be politically correct, are you a midget or what? No, I think he's a dwarf. No, he's a gnome. No, I think he's an Ewok.
Let's make sure we get every slur we can about a little person out right now. All in one segment.
And then Joe C says, after the match, you can go fuck yourself.
I'm the J-O-E to the C. Oh. He's 3'9" with a 10-foot dick.
Yeah, and fucking a rare disease.
It's not that rare.
It's pretty rare. Road Dogg's walking by a locker room and he hears some noises, and then he gets pulled into the locker room and tossed out into the wall. Next, you get Edge and Christian versus Too Cool for the tag titles. Big pop for Edge and Christian, being that they're Canadian. But they still run down British Columbia. Says Joe C is an overrated midget rapper. He ain't lying. And they have a brand new pose that honors overrated midget rappers. And they put like sneakers down, and they put they get on their knees with the sneakers there, so they're like short. Rikishi and Joe C come to the ring. Joe C has a hockey stick. Nut shots Edge. Too Cool win the fucking tag titles.
Where is Kid Rock, by the way, in all of this?
I think it's next week. I think. Yeah, Joe C had celiac disease. It's an autoimmune disease. He was on dialysis basically his whole life.
Oh, I thought you meant the disease of being... Never mind.
Yeah, moving on. Vince and Stephanie are in the locker room. Another big surprise for Rock and Taker tonight. And the lights go out. Stephanie screams. And then the lights come up and somebody attack Vince. And Stephanie's like, are you bleeding? Yeah, you're bleeding. Next, you get Shane McMahon versus Rikishi in a King of the Ring qualifying match. Triple H comes to the ring, interferes. Shane uses the chair, which as a DQ. Rikishi wins. Beatdown post-match. And then Shane pins Rikishi anyway and just counts for himself, even though he lost. So there's that. Stephanie's with Val Venus and TNA. Say, you guys had an opportunity to take out Jericho last week and you failed. And tonight I'm giving you a chance to redeem yourself. So it's going to be TNA versus Val Venus. TNA and Val Venus versus the Hardys and Jericho. And Stephanie walks out of the room and Tess just goes, bitch.
Didn't we used to fuck?
Yeah. For girls.
Forgive me, but wasn't I in you once?
Kayfabe, pal. It's Jericho and the Hardys versus TNA and Val Venus. Jericho says maybe Steffi has a crush on Y2J. Lawler calls them the Hardleys.
Oh, my God.
Now, well, do you know what that's from? Because I know Cornette uses it talking about the Bucks.
Is it from the TV show, the Hardy Boys? Like, did they reference it in that way?
No, so South Park did an episode where instead of the Hardy Boys, they had the Hardley Boys.
Okay.
And it was these two guys, and they're like, and their teeth never moved. Like, their teeth were always clenched, so they'd be like, oh, my God, I just found a clue. Oh, I have a raging clue.
I remember this now. Okay, so that was all from there. Okay.
Yeah. Trish interferes. Tess gets the pin. Next, you get Hardcore Holly versus Benoit. Hardcore cuts a promo on Benoit for not giving him a title shot. Says Benoit is scared. He's a typical Canadian, a coward. Benoit comes out, cuts a promo on his way to the ring. Another Canadian. Hardcore grabs a chair, but the ref stops him. Jericho runs in, hits Holly with the chair. Who's also Canadian. They really got him all on there tonight.
Fuck Memorial Day, apparently.
Anyway.
And by the way, I looked it up with 100%. This is Memorial Day. So it's just...
Yeah.
But we have the American Badass. Don't worry.
Yeah, I know, right? Exactly. That's how they started the show. Benoit and Hardcore fight off. Jericho follows with a chair. Regime's in the locker room. Vince asks if it's good enough that The Rock and Taker beat each other up. Let's put the icing on the cake. Next, you get Bull Buchanan with Boss Man versus Blackman with Snow in another King of the Ring qualifying match. Buchanan wins, and yeah, stuff happens. We see Pat Patterson. He's getting coffee for the Regime now, and someone off camera starts talking to him, and then Patterson gets dragged into a locker room and beaten down. And then Edge and Christian get their revenge on Josie. They see him. They stuff him in a garbage can and launch the garbage can at the wall and then slam it with a chair after it lands on a small dumpster.
Fucking hate crime.
I loved it. I popped for that one. So your main event is Taker versus The Rock. Vince comes to the ramp before the bell rings and he says, which one of you attacked Road Dogg and me and Pat Patterson? Rock and Taker both deny it. And Vince says, well, I'm fixing both your asses. Tonight's going to be a lumberjack match. So the Regime comes out. You got Boss Man and Buchanan, and you got TNA as your lumberjacks. And Taker and Rock, instead of fighting each other, they just go after the lumberjacks. And it's a shit show. The numbers are too much, and then Kane makes the save. Big pop for that. Dude, Kane, and I'm sure X-Pac, obviously had to help out on this, but Kane hit a sick-looking one-handed choke slam on X-Pac.
The height was...
It was filthy. Yeah, it was fucking great. And then Kane holds up the world title, and Taker and Rock stare him down like, well, what the fuck? Good night,
and the
folks.
crowd actually liked that shit, too. And it's like, he wouldn't get another championship until fucking 2010.
Yeah.
Maybe
early. He's one of those guys that didn't have a lot of world title reigns, but,
I know.
Still was a, top-tier guy.
After these messages,
we'll be right back.
Hello, Charlie Kelly here. Local business owner and cat enthusiast. Is your cat making too much noise all the time? Is your cat constantly stomping around, driving you crazy? Is your cat clawing at your furnitures? Think there's no answer? You're so stupid. There is. Kitten mittens. Finally, there's an elegant, comfortable mitten for cats. I couldn't hear anything. Is your cat one-legged? Is your cat fat, skinny, or an in-between? That doesn't matter, because one size fits all. Kitten mittens. You'll be smitten. So come on down to Patty's Pub. We're the home of the original kitten mittens. Meow.
Hashtag not a sponsor.
So let's go on to Nitro. I had to do a lot of math this week. And let's start, because usually the only time I reference Thunder is when I talk about them referencing it and replaying it, which they did at the beginning of this episode. So on Thunder was on May 24th. And Nash won the world title from Jeff Jarrett. So the world title has gone from Bret Hart to vacant to Chris Benoit to vacant to Sid to vacant to Sid to vacant to Jeff Jarrett to DDP to David Arquette to Jeff Jarrett to Ric Flair to Jeff Jarrett to Kevin Nash. 14th title change. We're 146 days into the year. That's a title change averaging every 10.4 days.
It went down.
Oh,
Was
it's
it
going to
11
continue
last
to go
week?
down. It's going to continue to go down. Flair shows up in a limo. This is fucking great. Flair's all excited. He gets out, and his wife, Beth, I think, tries to stop him, and Reed's in there too, and Rick says, stay there. Then Reed just starts yelling at his mother, pointing at her. He knows what he's doing. Like, wow.
You know that Charlotte is going to absorb me one day.
Oh, God damn it. And, well, no, obviously Rick doesn't know what he's doing, because immediately after that, R&B security swarm and take him hostage. So he did not know what he was doing. Kevin Nash comes to the ring, then Scott Steiner joins him. Nash gives props to Steiner for helping him out on Thunder. Nash says Luger's face is smashed. DDP's personal life is being controlled by Bischoff. Hogan has a retirement match coming up. And Vampiro wants to set Sting on fire. And then there's me. Tells Russo and Bischoff things didn't work out there now, did they? I see a sign. My boss is a slapnut.
Nice.
Nash says there's a buddy of mine sitting at home in Orlando, Scott Hall. He says he's getting healthier by the day, and he wants a piece of Russo, too.
Getting drunker.
Flair's music hits, comes to the ring, calls out Russo and David, says he's going to find Russo tonight and drag his ass to the ring. And then Nash says, I have a present for you, Flair. I thought about this long and hard, but you never lost this belt. So until you lose it, it's yours. And he gives it to Ric Flair. So the world title has gone from Bret Hart to vacant to Chris Benoit to vacant to Sid to vacant to Sid to vacant to Jeff Jarrett to DDP to David Arquette to Jeff Jarrett to Ric Flair to Jeff Jarrett to Kevin Nash to Ric Flair. 15th title change, 151 days into the year. That's a title change every 10.1 days.
I just realized you also have to do a math on a couple other things. Longest title reign and shortest title reign, because
when we get to the end, I'll look it up.
Because right now, I think Nash is the shortest reign. No, well, I
Probably.
mean, unless you consider Benoit dropping it because of vacant, but oh my God, it doesn't matter. This is just too fun. Keep going.
Jarrett's music hits, and he books Nash versus Steiner and Rick Steiner and Tank Abbott in a 2-on-1 match. Big Papa Pump tells Jarrett to kiss his ass, and then Jarrett books himself in a title match tonight against Flair. God, I hope he wins it back tonight. And Flair says, hey, I'm off tonight. Russo comes out. David comes out with Reed and Beth. And the faces take out R&B security. And then we cut to a shot of Vampiro arriving at the arena in a fuel tanker. Back from break, David, Jeff Jarrett, and Russo are dragging Flair's family around backstage. We cut to Rick looking for them. Filthy Animals come to the ring. Conan, Disco, Hoovy, and Ray. Disco's trying to be cool with the lingo, and the rest of them have to keep correcting him. They want a lumberjack match against MIA tonight, so MIA comes out. The ramp is flush with the apron. Okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've seen that before. And it was great because Chavo sprints to the ring and just dives over the top rope right onto Disco. It was a good-looking spot.
That's the one thing I feel like WWE AEW has done it a couple of times. It's how Cole broke his fucking ankle. But I wish WWE would bring that in every now and then. I like that elevated ramp where it just goes right into the ring.
Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah. Allows you a lot of cool spots like that, you know? So apparently it's Dick Nuts versus Chavo and the rest of the stable are the Lumberjacks. It turns into a shit show. Major Guns kicks Ray in the nuts. Chavo gets the pin. And then one of the Nitro girls, who's apparently Ray's girlfriend, comes in and attacks Major Guns. Pamela Paulshock is with Vampiro. He goes, "You smell that?" She goes, "No." "Duh, it's gas. Who are you anyway?" And he says there's going to be a fire here tonight. Then Chronic come in. They're beating the shit out of Horace. And then Stasiak and Palumbo make the save. Then we get a shot of Miss Hancock. Back from the break, she heads to the ring. She says, "I'm here to tell all the guys that I know how to let my hair down and have a good time and hit my music." And we get a smattering. Then we get some music playing. It's Candido. So as Candido's walking out, we cut to David and Russo. David freaks out and says, "I got to go." Candido runs down Miss Hancock, grabs her by the hair, and for reasons, David Flair makes the save. Because he apparently has a relationship with Daphne and Miss Hancock. Ric Flair comes in, goes after David, then R&B security come in. David leaves with Miss Hancock. Rick chases him to the back, and Shivani yells, "What's going on here?" Good question. I was wondering the same thing.
Fucking question.
Kimberly Page, and who's now just to be known as just Kimberly, arrives to the arena in a Rolls Royce, gets greeted by the press, and we see video from this past Friday of Kimberly throwing DDP stuff out, like boxing it up to get rid of it. And we find out that Karl Malone and Donnie Osmond are in the crowd. Danny Osmond, the less famous brother.
Just putting those two together is enough. Karl Malone and Donnie Osmond.
Then, G.I. Bro comes to the ring. Remember G.I. Bro?
I absolutely remember G.I. Bro.
That is Booker T's first gimmick he ever had. Calls out Sean Stasiak, and he wants a boot camp match, whatever that is. Then he calls out Mike Awesome, rolls footage from Thunder on April 27th. I guess Awesome injured Booker, or tried to. It looked like a weak spot anyway, I don't know. And he tells Mike Awesome, "Get the ambulance out." So apparently they're going to have an ambulance match right now. And DDP comes out for the assist. They double chokeslam Awesome from the ramp through a table on the floor below and put him in the ambulance. That's an actual ambulance
I was just going to say, not a stretcher match. That's an ambulance match.
Palumbo, Stasiak, and Liz are in the locker room. Somebody knocks at the door and slides a note under. Palumbo gets the note, and it says, "It's 4:19. Got a minute?"
I got it.
Yeah. And then Chronic just walk in. Liz hits Palumbo with the exercise bar and bounces. This dumb broad has been taken, kidnapped, and escaped probably more than the world title has changed hands.
All right, bro, we still got to figure out who's going to kidnap Liz this week. Yeah. I already did it last week. I'm out.
Yeah. We see Hogan arriving in his Charger, and he sees the Goldberg monster truck show up. But this time, Goldberg is there. Bischoff, Kimberly, Kidman, Tori, Horace, and the Cat come to the ring. Cat pulls a professor and keeps stepping on Bischoff's dick when he's trying to talk.
Let me ask you, how many times have I interrupted you today?
I don't think at all. Well, I think once, but it wasn't that bad.
I'm allowed 2 to 3 by accident, but go ahead.
I think so, yeah. I think, we're in agreement there. Bischoff has to tell him to stop. It was hilarious. He wasn't really even interrupting him. It was more like he was just repeating shit after he said it. You know, that timeless gimmick. Promo on Hogan. Bischoff says Horace is going to be the special ref for Hogan Kidman at Great American Bash. Hogan comes to the ring and he says, after the pay-per-view in July, I'm going to be the WCW champ for a couple minutes.
Yeah, he'll be. Yeah,
sure.
That's true.
Hogan comes to the ring. Goldberg is seen walking to the arena. We cut to break. We get Nash versus Rick Steiner and Tank Abbott. Goldberg's music hits. There's a fan. They did a close-up on a fan, and it looked like fucking Baron Corbin. It was weird. Spear jackhammer to Rick Steiner. Abbott powders. Goldberg helps up Nash. They hug. Goldberg cuts a promo, calls out Tank, and says, tonight the slaughter begins. Escape is no option, and I want Tank Abbott next week in Atlanta. Goldberg leaves the arena, and his car is mysteriously where Hogan's Charger was. Hogan's Charger is gone, and Goldberg's Viper is there.
Have we not learned enough from doing shit with Goldberg and vehicles?
Yeah, I know, right?
Goldberg! I was just going to say, that's the best part. On a flat car.
Oh, my favorite of all time. And then a message pops up, presented in the most complete format due to technical difficulties. So I don't know what happened. Nothing seemed out of, they must edit these really good because I've seen that message a dozen times and have never caught anything that was out of place. So Terry Funk comes to the ring, cuts a promo on Bischoff, says he doesn't know who he's going to be facing for the hardcore title. But I have a surprise for Bischoff. I'm going to go back there and put my foot up his ass. And then music plays. It's Vampiro. They end up at the fuel tanker, and he sprays Funk with the gas, and Sting makes the save. Vampiro gets a torch, but security swarms to stop him. So, hooray. Flair's still searching for his family. Shane Douglas walks in. Russo says, hey, you're going to face Big Papa Pump in the Asylum cage tonight for the U.S. title. We get footage of Diamond Dallas Page showing up to his house last Friday. He sees all his stuff on the lawn. Tries to open the door, but the locks were changed. And the cops are there with Kimberly. They say, hey, man, it's best if you just leave. Cop says, yeah, just call your lawyer. There's a restraining order, 500 feet, I think it is. And the cops closing the door on DDP goes, by the way, my kids love you. And then just slams the door in his face. It's fucking great. Mike Awesome is with Kimberly in the back. Awesome's looking for the inside track for the match at Great American Bash. Palumbo walks in. Hey, man, I can't find Liz. Kimberly, can you come to the ring, call her out? Because, she keeps escaping and then getting caught again. And then we get footage of DDP, who was spanking Kimberly on Thunder. Makes me want to go to the bakery.
But.
Boo. Kimberly, Palumbo, and Mike Awesome go to the ring. They call Liz out. So she comes to the ring by herself. Smart. Liz cuts a promo on Kimberly and Russo and Bischoff. What you want? What you want? And Palumbo and Awesome grab her. Kimberly grabs Liz by the hair. And then DDP just saunters to the ring and clears the ring. Then Bischoff and a couple cops come out. DDP violated the restraining order, so he's under arrest. Until Chuck Palumbo takes out the cops to get to DDP. Mm-hmm. And then Luger comes out in his Bill Lambier mask because his face is all shattered. Luger and Liz bounce, and Awesome just beats the shit out of DDP. And then Karl Malone gets in the ring, takes his shirt off, and makes the save.
He is a former WCW wrestler, so...
And tag partner of DDP.
Exactly.
Let's see. Big Papa Pump versus Shane Douglas, Asylum cage match for the U.S. title. Steiner retains. Next, you get Kidman versus Sting. Tori causes a distraction. Vampiro out with the gas can. They're literally calling him the Vampiro Maniac. Who would have thought that me just running with OK's bad joke would turn into an actual thing?
Right.
Kidman gets the pin. Vampiro and Kidman beat down Sting post-match. Hogan makes the save. Bischoff comes in, hits Hogan with the chair. Hogan no-sells it. Cat comes in, kicks the chair into Hogan's face. And then Horace comes in, and then Chronic makes the save. Jesus fucking Christ. Main event. Jeff Jarrett versus Ric Flair for the world title. David Flair is your ref. R&B security bring Beth and Reed out. Flair takes out David with the Statue of Liberty figurine, so Lil Nate takes over. And then we get another ref bump because wrestling. Then Russo puts on the ref shirt. Flair takes him out, sets up the figure four. David slides the guitar into Jeff Jarrett. Heat shot to Flair. And Jeff Jarrett wins the world title for the fourth time this year, tying vacant.
Fourth time this year? That's the funniest fucking thing ever. And it's not his last reign.
It's not. It's not. So, our third counter of the episode, the world title has gone from Bret Hart to vacant to Chris Benoit to vacant to Sid to vacant to Sid to vacant to Jeff Jarrett to DDP to David Arquette to Jeff Jarrett to Ric Flair to Jeff Jarrett to Kevin Nash to Ric Flair to Jeff Jarrett. It is the 16th title change. 151 days into the year. That is an average of a title change every 9.4 days.
Last week it was 11. Hat trick.
Yeah,
Holy
we
shit.
from Thursday to Monday, we've had 3 world title changes.
Oh, God. I love this. I don't think I don't realize how many title reigns there really were in 2000 at this time, but this is already killing me. I mean, 14 is too many, or however many. Fuck, what are we at now? I mean, like, does
16
vacant,
title
16.
changes. 4 reigns for Vacant and 4 for Jeff Jarrett. Those are your leaders right now.
God, I'm really pulling for Vacant to have the most by the end of the year. I'm really pulling for him. Oh, God, that actually just hurt my fucking cheeks. This is the funniest fucking version of the Nitro of Nitro yet. That was great. All right. Well, can't wait to see what the ticker does next week. Now it's on to whatever topic ODM has in store for what I guess is movie of the week. Well, it's like a sound bumper for movie of the week, but is it a movie? Is it a TV show?
It's actually I'd say a series,
Oh, okay.
a limited edition series, we'll call it. I was waffling on what I wanted to do for this week. I had some ideas, but I independently, not thinking about it, had watched this series, and I was like, we need to talk about it because I don't know if it's your cup of tea. I know you like cops and like dash cam videos and the POV kind of videos, stuff like that. So.
I like all
there's
sorts of POV videos.
Well, besides that, we all know that goes without saying. But thank you for clarifying.
It was a perfect joke.
I mean, hey, I ain't mad at it. I mean, the POV videos, I'm not mad at those.
Yeah, I got you.
So there's a series on Netflix. It's called American Manhunt. And they have 3 different topics, and I think each one is only like 3 episodes that are an hour long. One of them might be a little longer. I think one might be 4 episodes. But 3 different topics, and it's basically just, you're searching for somebody. Now, one was a little bit different and expanded a little bit more, but they both kind of do. So the first one that I watched was Osama bin Laden. Mm-hmm. And it started with 9/11. It was some great footage, some just great perspectives. I hate to say great, but I mean, it fucking pulls you in. But
especially with 9/11, I mean, you're just like, wow, I'm involved. Wow, big crash. Didn't expect that happening. I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I didn't know where you were going with it. I figured I'd let you just run with it.
I actually started the sentence and I didn't know where I was going to finish.
Yeah, that sounds about right. It happens sometimes. Those planes knew where they were going, though. So, I mean, but it just talks about like how the government assessed what happened, how they figured it out. And how they worked. They were a lot of interviews with people who were in the CIA and on the counterterrorism unit. So it was very in depth, and it just went about how they kept tracking them, and it was fucking insane. It was insane. They talked about how they ended up finding. So I didn't know this. They had a guy who was on the inside, and they flipped him. Right. So they're like, all right, go undercover and report back. I think the guy was gone for like 9 months.
Damn.
Came back and he's like, all right. He's like, I got him. He's like, I got him. So let's set up a meet here. And they set up a meet. Well, the fucked up thing is when they brought him into the, they had him in a car and they brought him into like the CIA's outpost, wherever it was in the desert. They never checked him. They never searched him. They just assumed he was their agent. And they start showing videos that this guy recorded before the meeting saying, no, I'm still with Al-Qaeda. And he's got a fucking suicide vest on. And he's like, see this? It's not a watch. It's a detonator. He's like, I hope you all burn in the hell. And fucking as soon as they roll up to the entrance where all the CIA members are, boom. And it's fucked up because they showed, footage from the funeral of one of the agents. And it was like a box. It wasn't a coffin. Probably because...
It's what was remained that you could find.
Yeah. It's fucked up, man. But then they talk about they basically.
Is it weird to say, hey, no spoilers, even though this is a part of American history? I'm like,
yeah, I know, right? So, basically they find a guy that they're able to track to this safe house. And, they get as much intel as they can. And they're like, all right, we're going to do this. We're going to send people in. And Obama actually gave the order to do it. But the thing is, the SEAL Team 6, what they did was, based on their intel, they built a replica of the compound and practiced in it for 3 weeks prior.
Nice.
Then as they're about to set off, they find out, hey, we're going to be giving you this experimental helicopter that nobody's ever piloted before and knows nothing about. Yeah.
Jesus.
So they went, and the one crashed in the compound. Nobody got hurt, but it crashed.
Wow.
So they do the raid, and they kill Obama and
Osama.
Bin Laden. Not Obama. Not Obama. They did not kill Obama.
Yeah.
Obama had Bin Laden killed. But it's fucked up because the plane crashed, and it was like top secret because, again, nobody had ever seen it before. So before they left, they had to fucking blow up the helicopter that was there. So there was no evidence on it. Yeah, it's crazy. It was intense. It was very intense, especially just with the weight of 9/11 kicking the whole thing off. So very intense. The second one I watched was the Boston Marathon bombers.
Oh, okay.
That one was interesting because I didn't know a lot of the facts about the case.
I was just going to say, if you want me to watch this show, don't go too deep because I actually don't know a whole lot of facts about the Boston. Osama, sure.
Me neither.
But I think this one I'd like to learn a little bit about. But go ahead.
Yeah, the only thing that I'll say, man, is it was impressive. From the time the bombing happened to the time they apprehended the last suspect, 101 hours, 4.5 days.
That's
with basically nothing to go off
pretty
of.
solid, yeah. Out of
That's
a place
insane,
that's crowded with thousands and thousands of fucking people, and you figured it out. Yeah,
millions,
it's true.
Probably,
yeah, wow.
Yeah, it was insane. So I won't go too much into it, but again, there was a lot of details I did not know. I didn't know.
Right.
So that was interesting. Now, the third one wasn't really a manhunt. It was OJ. But it was interesting because, again, with this one, we all know, a lot of the stuff about that, having grown up with it. But there was some things that really interested me. How much a racist Mark Fuhrman actually is. And just the absolute lack of discipline by the district attorney and the police in this case is shocking. Absolutely shocking.
Who is the district attorney again?
Terrible. Well, there was a bunch. Marsha Clark.
That's what I was. That's the main one I was thinking of. The chick with the hair. That's what I was thinking of.
Yep. But yeah. So again, that one from a documentary perspective was interesting. Again, it doesn't really fit American Manhunt.
Sure.
It was just the chase. It was just the chase.
It's like an easy go-to. Everyone's always like, we can always talk about OJ.
Right. Well, and that's the thing because there's like 18 documentaries on OJ on Netflix alone.
I was just gonna say, did you ever see the 4-part series or whatever it was? It was American Crime Story. David Schwimmer played Bruce Jenner, who is the friend of OJ.
Oh.
Yeah. And Sarah Paulson played Marsha Clark. It was actually pretty decently done. And that's the first time I ever heard, I'm not black, I'm OJ. That was the first time I'd ever heard him say that in the movie, because I didn't remember that when I was a kid. I mean, I think that happened when I was like 12. So,
right.
Yeah, I may have to check out this series. It sounds pretty good. I do like a good. Yeah, I like crime solving mystery type shows. You know what I mean, like unsolved mysteries like that. So, kind of in the same area, I would assume.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely worth checking out. I was kind of bummed when I got through them because I was hoping there was another one, but as far as I can tell, those are the only 3 that are there. I watched a couple other things. I can talk about those another time, but yeah, definitely check them out. Like I said, they all have their own uniqueness to them, right? Because with Bin Laden, it was like I think it was more than 10 years it took to caught him from 9/11.
It was
2010?
Pretty much. It was 2010 when they
11.
caught him. Because, and this is going to sound
killed him, I should say.
Yes. It's going to sound fucking horrible as to why and how I would remember it, but everything bases around wrestling. So, yeah, obviously 9/11 was what it was. I remember that date. It was after like a 2010. No, it was a 2011 pay-per-view that when it went off air, John Cena announced to the crowd, I've just been told that Osama bin Laden has been found and compromised to a permanent end. I'm like, just say we fucking killed him. You're off air. You know what I mean? He's like, compromised to a permanent end. I'm like it took people a minute. They're like, Compromise. Oh, okay, we killed him. Okay.
Okay.
If you said we killed him, immediate interruption. Everybody's like, what the fuck did he just say? Oh, God. All right, yeah, I'll have to check that series out. Sounds good. And next week, this one was on me because you brought out the what was it? WrestleMania, the album. Oh, no. That's what
the wrestling album.
You had the wrestling album. And I was like, well, if we're doing that one, we have to do 1993's WrestleMania, the album. And that's where it's the birth of, WrestleMania. Or Mania, as Santino sings it. Also, my favorite intro of all time that I can't wait for you. Have you listened to any of this yet?
I have not listened to the album. I know that song, and I'm guessing I'm going to recognize at least a song or two on it.
At most, you're going to catch like that, but then other songs, like the Macho Man song, is him. I swear to God, the intro is my favorite. The Tower of Power, too sweet to be sour, funky like a monkey. Ooh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, great fucking intro. And then the whole song is him just going, dip, while like music's going off. You'll enjoy it. Good fucking album. We're going to talk about that next week. And we'll be back, of course, because it's Wednesday, and it's a Top of Wrestling fucking podcast. And we're out of here for the week. I'm the Professor. I bid you a farewell. He's ODM. He just might have a little bit of a story for you, or a thought. Go ahead.
Thanks, Professor. Something I forgot to bring up earlier, so we'll just stick it here, and we'll call it a day. Watching Saturday night's main event.
It's usually what I say on a Saturday night. We're just going to stick it here and call it a day.
There's a box probably involved, too. So we were watching Saturday night's main event. I was with Weezy, and naturally he had to troll a little bit. So he's like, I should text Whiskey Man about Bronson Reed. I'm like, oh, so he did it, and he did it very subtly, right? It wasn't like he's like,
what did he say? Like, I predict Bronson Reed is coming back or something?
So he goes,
like,
okay. Bronson Reed came back and joined Seth Rollins. He's like, did you call that? And Whiskey Man's reply was, no, I didn't call that one. I called Cena beating Punk at SummerSlam, which was also in the ESPN article.
ESPN article, but still.
So, yeah. The lies just don't stop. Da-da-da, da-da-da. The Top of Wrestling Podcast is brought to you by The Top of Wrestling Podcast. Your hosts are the Professor Mark Fantasia and ODM The Doc Joe Rizzo. Feel free to reach out to the show by email at thetopofwrestling@gmail.com, on their Facebook page, Twitter page, Instagram page. Remember to subscribe, like, and share. You can listen to the show on most popular platforms, including iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, Amazon Music, Pandora, and YouTube. Without your continued support, it would be just some guys talking wrestling, which is pretty much what it is anyway. Good night, folks.
You know what? This wasn't going to be on my fucking topic at all to bring up at all today, but this is fucking funny. As I'm seeing my neighbor mowing over here, as you know, I'm up north. There is a guy that lives 2 doors away from us that since like 2015, 16 has had some form of a Trump flag in some way. Then it was the, let's go Brandon. And then now it's Trump Vance 2024, and he has another huge one, Trump 1. It happens to be he is the husband of my mother-in-law's pretty good friend. And she goes, Liz told me that someone busted out the back of George's window, and I didn't even take a second. I go, you think it has to do with the 7 flags in front of his fucking house? And I didn't even blink, and I said that, and she goes, maybe. I go, likely. I'm like, nothing. No one else got their shit busted in, but him. I already figured it out.
Yeah.
It's funny because you know what? I go, I'm gonna be a fucking prime suspect. For some reason, I'm gonna be a suspect on this, just because I'm back in town.
Yeah, and all that time in California, you fucking hippie.
Well, oh my God, here's the funniest part. Their son-in-law is Ray DeVito, the baked potato.
Oh, Jesus.
The bar owner motherfucker. Yeah, that called me a gay, hippie, fucking freak motherfucker.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely going to pin it on you.
Yeah. Tight. Whoa, look at that, man. I like him. My favorite, actually, is the whole scene with him and Saul in the desert where he's talking about breaking their legs and stuff. He's like, "Oh, guys, their eyes out," and he's like, "But when did we get to eyes? We're going back to the legs here." It's like cut their throats and I pull their tongues out. Colombian neckties.
Yeah, I watched. There's a YouTube channel. I think it's called Better Watch TV, and you would love it because he did it for the entirety of Breaking Bad, and he's doing Better Call Saul now. And he goes through and he keeps track of how many times this happens. He points out continuity errors.
Nice.
It's really cool. I think you'd really enjoy it.
Write that down right now, actually.
But there's one thing that he mentioned that I never thought about. Okay. Better Call Saul. Mike does the thing where he gets Tuco arrested, and he takes the boxing glove necklace off of him.
Correct.
Which he has in Breaking Bad.
Oh, that's fuck. That is continuity.
Yeah. So
unless because he had it at his house when he's putting the ice on his face. Yeah, how would he have had it back? Huh?
The bag of peas, or whatever it was.
Yeah, but still, I love that. Wow, look at you, all that just for that. Could have shot him. I think Nacho.
Nacho's
between amazing. Nacho and Jesse, I think Nacho is my favorite character. Where I'm like, you feel so fucking bad for him.
Mm-hmm.